All right, man. Told you to like, share, subscribe to the page. So I'm continuing on with my fresh and fit reactions. Yeah, this is pretty good stuff. So let's get into it, man. See what they talking about.
For known, we'll start here. Would it be fair to say that a guy that tells you, because I'm just taking an aggregate of what you guys were all saying, a guy that tells you no guy friends, no club, none of your single friends that are hoes is controlling and insecure?
No. Is insecure?
No, I'm saying because it seems to be there's a general consensus at the table that if a guy tells you, hey, I don't want you going to the club, or hey, I don't want you having an Instagram, or any of these things, he's labeled as insecure or controlling.
I mean, I could see that people may think that they're insecure, but I don't think that necessarily thinks
Okay,
that
so
I am
okay,
insecure.
all right, fine. What about you? I know you had a lot to say about that.
I mean, I definitely think it means that they're insecure. I mean,
Okay.
if you're going to come at me for something as stupid, like, okay, it's different if, you know, I'm in the DMs and I'm actively flirting or I'm, you know, going out of my way to make myself seem available, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm doing that, that's understandable. But like, if people hit me up and are like, hey, where are you going to be tonight? Or where's the move tonight? Or, hey, do you have something for this or something? Like,
so in your eyes, it is controlling for him to try to tell you,
absolutely,
you know, no club, don't go out on girls' night out, whatever. Okay. Yeah. What about you? Do you think it's controlling as well?
I definitely do think it's controlling, and it stems from insecurity.
Okay. Diamond? Yeah.
I think it's due to how they go about it. Like, if you're coming to them about like, hey, I don't want you doing this because you're going to talk to other men or thinking that it's open, then yes, that's coming from an insecurity. But if you just respectfully don't want me in that environment, that's a different story.
Okay.
So,
Nina?
It's kind of the same thing, but
No, I don't think it's insecure because I understand the reasoning behind it, but I'm still not going to do it though.
Okay. So it's controlling.
And it's not, but I'm still not going to do it.
Okay. To you, I know you had to, for you, would you consider that controlling? I know you had mentioned it before.
I'm like,
misogyny.
I'm stuck in between the two,
Half
to
and
be
half.
honest.
Okay.
It's a half and half for me.
All right. What about you?
I agree. It's
You think it's
definitely.
controlling?
I definitely think it's half and half. It depends on the reason why.
Controlling and or insecure?
Like I'm saying, like if you don't want me to go out there because you're insecure,
For my safety.
or yeah, that's
That's
different.
different.
That's different. But if it's because you think guys are gonna talk to me or I'm gonna talk to guys, then that's when we have to have a different
All right, fair enough.
conversation.
What about you?
My thing is like the whole no guy friends, no going out. It's like you insecure.
Misogyny.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back around the table and I'm going to ask, do you want a guy that's taller, stronger, and more ambitious or competent than yourself? Yes or no?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Do you want a man that's taller, more competent, more ambitious, and stronger than yourself?
I don't really care when it comes to that. You are who you are. I don't want anybody. I mean,
Cut the fucking bullshit. Do you want a guy that is better than you, taller than you, makes more money than you, more confident?
Yo, this shit is amazing.
Yes or no?
no,
No.
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 I
You literally
mean,
just mentioned
better
you would
than
want a
me.
sugar daddy.
Better than me.
I didn't say better than
I
you. I
would
said more
say-
competent.
More competent.
Yes.
I mean,
Has more life experience, understands things, more confidence,
Okay,
makes more money than you.
Makes. Oh, I guess. I
Successful.
mean,
Okay. Yes.
I would say yes because I feel like a guy who has all those attributes, they are more able to lead in
Okay.
the right way.
Okay.
Lead me. Go
Cool.
ahead.
Of course, who doesn't?
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Do you want a man that's taller, more ambitious, competent, and stronger than yourself physically?
I really just okay. I like
Yes or no?
no.
It's a very simple question.
I like my niggas fat and ugly. That's what's gonna
Okay, but okay, so more.
fat, ugly, rich.
All right, more financially secure than yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, but you want him to be taller than you too. You mentioned that earlier.
If his bank account's taller than me,
Okay. All right.
Money first.
What about yourself?
I'm 4'11", so I definitely want a guy taller than me.
Okay.
Cause then,
Okay.
you know,
And more ambitious, competent, stronger.
absolutely, cause
Okay.
then that will motivate me to be better.
Okay, cool. What about you?
ironically, the only thing I don't care about is the height.
Okay.
Told you I don't mind. I'm sure.
But you would want the competence and everything else.
Mhm.
Cool. What about you? I mean, you're married. I'm assuming your husband probably fulfills some of these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? All of you guys are stupid, short, and fucking poor. Oh, sounds crazy, doesn't it? I just literally used your logic back on you. Hold on. This is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I literally used your logic right back on you. A man that has boundaries and standards is always shamed by it. You're insecure. You're controlling. You don't let me go out. You don't want me to have sexy pictures of myself on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. These are his standards. But why is it okay for women to question it and shame him? Whereas when you have a standard, I want a guy that's taller than me, ambitious, makes more money. Could I run around and say you guys are all a bunch of stupid, broke bitches that can't lead yourselves? That would be crazy for me to say that, wouldn't it?
Is that really standards though? Or is that just like a controlling standards are more like things like looks or like what you
No, it's a standard because if you tell a girl, I don't accept this, that is your standard.
But that you should tell them right up front. Like if you're gonna tell me that you're about to control a bunch of aspects of my life, you better let me know.
No. It's I have standards, you have standards. The difference is female standards are never questioned. Male standards are. That's what I'm trying to show here. Because we don't sit here, and question what women want in men. We don't shame you guys for what you want in men. We understand when we're young, a woman wants a man that's confident, tall, attractive, in shape, stronger than herself. She wants a leader.
Just better.
Men understand.
What you're saying is
men
better.
understand this. But women cannot seem to understand that we are not the same and we have different standards. So when we say we don't want you to do certain activities that might put you in a bad situation that could put the relationship in jeopardy, it's always met with the same bullshit language you guys said earlier. Controlling, insecure, toxic, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not insecure. It's very secure in my future, knowing that if I'm with a girl that's doing some fuck shit, she's going to fuck up my future. So I'm not going to sit there and allow you to do it. The difference is this. When men put their foot down and have standards, it's considered discrimination. When women put their foot down and have standards, it's considered preference. So I prefer not to have chicks that conduct certain activities that might put the relationship in jeopardy. It's not controlling. It's being in control of my future, not allowing a stupid ass chicken that's going to fuck up the relationship.
Which is true. I mean, what he said was facts.
I got something to say.
Okay, so everyone has a point to say.
I do.
We'll start with you and then DJ.
I don't necessarily think that what you're saying, like when a guy says, I don't want you out, period. Like in my situation, he didn't want me out for birthday events. He didn't want me out in general. He said, I'm your only friend. Like that's what he said. He said, I'm your only friend. You don't need to go out. So I understand. I understand if you're saying you don't want me out in the clubs, you know, shaking my ass and shit like that.
Facts.
Like that's a standard. Okay, you don't want me disrespecting a relationship. But when you're telling me to stay inside the house or don't go nowhere without me, that's controlling.
Yeah. I mean,
when you're telling me to keep my location on all the time and you check where I'm at,
That's facts.
what you doing on 19th right now? That's controlling.
If someone kidnaps you, who you gonna call?
Marooney. I don't know.
Hold up. She capping. You did something for him to do that. There's no way in the world he's going through all your stuff like that. Something happened for him to do all that. And how did it get to that point? Don't sit here and tell me that he's saying, what are you doing on 19th right now? Something happened. You ain't telling the full story.
Because here's the problem, bro. Like, this is what I've come, and you guys can agree to disagree with me. Maybe I'll be an asshole or whatever. But what I've come to realize, because I've interviewed well over 1,000 women, I already knew all your guys' answers before you sent it, by the way. It was like, okay, let's see what they're going to say. Women want the freedom of being single while simultaneously having a guy in the background to be their boyfriend to provide them the security that they want and yearn for. But they still want to act like they're single without being questioned about it. My thing is this, is if you're off the market, you can no longer be all over the place with a for sale sign. But girls want to be able to have an owner while simultaneously putting a for sale sign. So if a better offer comes along, they can go ahead and entertain it. And I'm simply saying, if you have a guy, it's extremely disrespectful to be out there putting yourself out in a certain light because he is already compromising himself to some degree to provide you that security, but you don't want to provide him that same security from a relationship standpoint.
That's 100% facts. 100% facts. Women want to live this single lifestyle, but they want the benefits of a relationship. That's 100% facts. Especially all these girls around the table. This is exactly what they want, except for the one that's married, probably. But most of them on that panel, that's what they want. They want that. They literally want that.
Men, right? You guys want security, getting the best guy that you can get. We want security, knowing that our girl isn't gonna go out there and fucking embarrass us. But no one cares about that. You should be able to live your life and dot around, and you should be able to accept that. Don't be small dick. Don't be confident. Blah blah blah. Why? Like, I don't think women understand. Let me finish. I don't think women understand that men have to create their last name, and when you create your last name, you have to give it to a woman that's worthy. I'm not gonna give my last name to a woman that's gonna go outside and embarrass me. A man's biggest fear is to have a chick that he loves find out she was doing a bunch of fuck shit before he gave her a last name, because now his last name loses value because he gave it to someone that wasn't worthy. There's a reason why guys have a serious point of contention with girls that conduct certain activities, because he knows deep down this woman is going to represent me. If I go out into the world, I don't want to get laughed at by my peers for paying full price for a depreciating asset that other people got for free. And I know some of you guys are going to say, oh my God, that's so misogynistic. Hey man, I don't make the rules. I just report them. Men don't like hoes for
Well, Myron, do you
commitment.
think it's a better approach to force her to do those things? Or
No,
to
no, you
make
don't
her want
force,
to
you don't
do them?
force.
Like, even setting that as a standard, like, yes, you don't want that, but if you say that in the beginning, she's just going to sneak around and do it anyway.
And here's the thing.
That's his whole point, though. That's the point. That's the point he's trying to make. You can't tell women these things. You can't. Because what happens if you tell them, they do exactly what you say, or they don't accept it. This is exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
Like, you got to be upfront and let her know. But my thing is, hey, you could do what you want. Just understand there are consequences. She needs to know that there's negative consequences for, you know,
Just to add to
for
this
that
point
type
as
of
well,
behavior.
She can do whatever she wants, right?
Yeah. We don't tell her, you can't lock her up.
She just can't be with us. So, for example, a lot of guys, right, they'll
Yeah.
say, okay, here's my requirements, right? They don't follow it, cool. But guess what? Now, he won't take you serious. And as a result, he'll string you along, fuck you, but never wife
But when
you.
do you set that standard? Don't you have like a rotation and then you pick one to be your wife?
No, I'm saying generally, that's what most guys do. For us, it's a little bit different. But I'm just saying, regarding demands and standards, guys will tell. Some guys will say up front, some guys will say like midway, but once they say it and the girl doesn't comply, they might just say, hey, you know what? Cool. You're not wifey. I'm just going to treat you like.
And to be honest, like a girl, like if she really, really likes you, she's gonna know I got this guy. I need to impress him. I'm gonna start giving up certain types of activities so that he can see me as a viable candidate for a real relationship.
Yeah, I think that's a better way.
I don't understand why women have this thing with IG. If you get into a relationship with a good guy, a good man, and your man requests for you to delete your IG, and he's a good guy, why do you not delete? You're only posting pictures. It's not like it's like women, I don't know, women have this thing with Instagram, Facebook, and all this stuff as if like it's so important to them. It should not be that important to you. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that important unless you're making money off of it. If it's just something that you do and your man is not comfortable with it, it's the same thing as if your man has female friends and you say, I'm not comfortable with you being friends with these people. I would not stop being friends with somebody I've been friends with. But if my female really felt some type of way about it, and it wasn't that she was just an insecure person, she just didn't feel comfortable with me hanging out with my female friends, I'll either try to invite her there with her, or I'll probably do what she asks, because that's what she's looking for. That's what she wants. And that's what's gonna make her happy. It's the same thing with Instagram. And I don't understand it.
She's gonna give it up anyway. But my thing is that if a girl's trying to do this shit, I mean, if she's trying to do this shit and she's with you, you probably already lost. But what I'm saying is that these are just not habits that are conducive to like a girl that you want to take serious. Is all I'm saying.
That birthday thing,
Yeah.
That's kind of OD though.
Yeah.
I go hold you. That's a little bit crazy.
Did you have you had something? I saw you
TCBATTLES.
want to say something. Go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
okay. So basically what I wanted to say was, Myron, when you asked when two questions were asked, when you asked the ladies, you know, do you want a tall, do you want this, do you want that? You were asking for like a before, like
That's what I was gonna
an
say.
attraction. Do I want somebody that's tall? Do I want
Like
somebody
physical.
that's right? And then when you say how we feel about this person being, you know, don't want you to go out, that's already in the relationship. So
Yeah.
that's two different standards that you're asking
Well, we can
from
go
in the
there.
beginning.
You're just making it
Do you
very
get what I'm
simple.
saying?
No.
No, I don't understand where
Yeah,
you're coming
so
from.
It doesn't.
like Our standards are straight
I
up.
get what
Okay,
you-
so he's tall, handsome, and has money. I want him. Yes, and then we find out about the standard that you're talking about
Actions.
later in the
While we're in
relationship.
the
Hey, you can't go out anymore. You need to respect that. That's a different standard at a different point in a relationship. Whereas if I just walk up right on you and you say, "Hey, I don't want you going out," I'd be like, "All right, we're not together." That's a different level of relationship. You have to be at a certain.
No,
point to be able to find out.
I'm simply using the point I'm trying to illustrate here is that your standard is respected and actually adhered to by men versus the male standard is not respected whatsoever.
And so
It's
I
met with
think-
shaming language immediately.
But
and I
those
think
two
it's not
standards-
respected because it's later in the relationship.
Exactly.
Like,
Those
why
two
wasn't this
standards-
talked about before?
I agree.
Instead of
I
so-
agree.
Because you can't talk about that in the beginning. That's the thing. You can't tell a woman this stuff in the beginning because you just said it. You'll be like, relationship's over. You can't tell this stuff to women in the beginning.
If we're 10 years down the road and all
Yeah.
of a sudden you're like, no way, everything we're not doing that, we're staying in, everything like that, then we're like, okay, well, what happened in the last 10 years? When the first day I walked up to you, you're tall, handsome, and I like you. And then,
But
his
even-
standard was, are you good looking? And
Even before
whatever.
we get a chance, those are your standards and requirements.
Yeah, but I
Is
mean,
what
you
he's
guys
saying.
have standards and requirements too.
Absolutely.
You guys just don't
are
enforce
you
them.
attracted
That's
to
the
this
difference.
female? Like, I know you guys don't care about
No,
money.
they
but
can't enforce them.
Those
But
two.
yeah.
No, they totally missing the point of this conversation. You can't. A woman's standards is totally different from a man's standards for a woman is totally different from a woman's standards for a man. That's what he's trying to say. Y'all basically are saying that a man could have told you this in the beginning, and y'all would have been okay with it. No, y'all wouldn't be okay with it. Y'all wouldn't be okay with it. But we have to deal with it because if I tell a girl not to delete her IG, then I'm hurt. Who hurt me? Something must be wrong with me. You get what I'm saying?
They can't enforce them.
You can.
No, but
You
here's-
can enforce them.
No, because a lot of
You
guys
can't.
feel this way. They can't say it though overtly because if a guy was to say, "I don't like this" or whatever, y'all just literally hurt yourselves. 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago.
all the time.
But Lauren, can I
Yeah.
say this? Can
I'll do what I want. You can't control me.
Right, but you're
Yeah.
talking
That's-
about relationship standards, and you're saying for us it's attraction standards, and you're talking about relationship.
No, it's not
standards. Those
because
are two
there's a
different
reason why. Hold on,
standards.
no, it's not because there's a reason why I said competence, confidence, and financial security as well.
Covers a lot.
That covers that's a relationship perspective as
You
well.
find that out pretty quickly, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone
But-
is going to say yes to that. Like,
Yeah,
there's never
absolutely.
going to be a
Right.
girl that's going to come on here, or even a
Well,
guy
we
that's
don't
going to
judge
come on
you
here and be
for
like,
it.
oh, but nobody's going to come up because you
Not
don't
an
want
incompetent
that. It's
man.
it's not the fact that you're not going to end up with that.
You're missing the
Okay.
point.
I get what
ladies,
you're saying.
what you guys, I'm going to make this extremely simple because you guys are looking at the nuances. All I'm simply saying is male standards are not respected. Female standards are accepted
Yeah.
and adhered to by
That
men.
might not be a
And
perfect
all-
example of male standards.
Exactly.
No,
Wow.
it's
All
not.
I'm
It's
trying
not.
to say is the
No,
standard
no,
is
no.
I
different.
get
You
what you're
didn't say.
saying.
You said we want the guy to be tall. You didn't say, okay, we want a girl to be pretty. That's the equal
Or the
standard.
body.
You're talking about not going to the club. Now, if you said women, do you want a guy that goes out to clubs every night or is hanging out with his friends too much? Would you tell him
Or
not
has
to hang out with his
female
friends?
friends.
That's equal standard.
But you're
But
thinking
ma-
that we're equal.
You're assuming that
We're not
you're
equal.
you're going off the premise that we're blank slate equals and
We're
we're
not.
not.
But would
No.
you
Men
say
want
that-
certain things, women want certain things. That's the whole premise here.
Okay.
Now look, I get what you're
So
saying.
women want tall and men want stay home.
No.
Men don't want a hoe.
We
Men
gotta
don't
say
want a
that.
hoe.
So
They
going to
love
the
'em,
club equals
but they
a
don't
hoe?
want
No,
'em.
no. We're just saying co-activities can lead to
So going to the club is a whole
Going
activity.
outside.
No, what?
Where's-
No.
Going to brunch.
Girls.
it's a general premise, right? He just saying as an example, off rip, girls come to guys, hey, you know what? These are my requirements. Maybe I'll give you a shot. But guys, we have requirements. We have to kind of like ease into. We can't just go up front and ask for it.
No, you guys have requirements in the beginning too. Is she pretty? Does she have big titties? Does she have a fat
Yes,
ass?
absolutely.
Like y'all have your own
Niggas is
requirements.
not really,
too.
Yeah,
though.
but we
Oh,
run
you
the show.
absolutely do.
No,
That
like
is
what they're
so
saying is we actually run the show.
Exactly.
So guys can't really come up to us and be like, "Oh yeah,
We
I
take what
fuck
we
with
get.
you."
Yes, the
But
first
you
one.
know, I don't like you always posting on Instagram. Guys can't do that.
Here's
But
a
why
quote.
though?
Girls
Because
can
Men get who
because
they,
we have
I see
choice.
who they
can.
That's
Yep.
why.
women get who they want.
Yeah,
That's
for
what I
sure.
was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly what I was gonna
the
say.
purpose of the purpose of what I was saying was to show that male standards are not respected by women in general versus female standards are respected by men And on top of that, guys understand the reality that this is what it takes to be attractive. I have to have competence to a level. I have to have confidence to a level. I have to have my money on point to a level. I have to be in shape.
You don't have to have none of that. If you have money, you can get whatever bitch you want, and that's real life. Everybody else,
hold on, stop. Diamond.
Yeah.
Stop, bro.
That is
because
the truth. Not necessarily.
You don't know what it's like to be.
Hold on.
Have you not seen?
Because guys that are simps and sugar daddies, the girl, they don't get the burning genuine desire. Like they're maybe they might get boxed here or there, but they're not going to get the respect from the woman. It's different when because you can't pay for desire. You can't buy.
And to maintain top tier performance.
Yeah, man. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Shout out to them brothers, man. They doing good things. Fresh and fit. You know what it is. Oh, I got this thing over here in the corner. I'm going to keep it like that because Ecamm is wild. So I'm not going to keep on going back and forth. So y'all going to see me on here twice.